What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Recover Out Loud with Sean, brought to you by the Antisocial Network. Today, we got an awesome guest, super cool, awesome guest, Rusty Diamond. How you doing, Rusty?
Man, I'm doing fucking great. It's Monday morning. Monday Monday was my favorite. Monday morning was my favorite part of the week until I lived in Salt Lake City, and then Sunday morning became my favorite time of the week when I could go out and have the run of the town. So Monday morning is my second favorite time of the week. So yeah,
Sick.
how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's just been a busy morning right off the bat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. It's weird, like going from like not feeling productive to feeling productive and like having all the productive things happening at one time.
Yeah. Uh, you're talking in the morning, or you're talking in general
In the morning.
in the morning? Yeah, man. I mean, like myself, I'm right as soon as my eyes open, I'm fucking go, 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 until my eyes are fucking shut. Doesn't, it doesn't stop. So like having something where I don't have to think at all is foreign and weird. Like I went on a trip and it was an all inclusive place, and I didn't have to fucking think about what I was gonna eat, what I was gonna do during the day. Everything was all laid out. Just had to show up, and that was it. It was interesting. So, um, yeah. I mean, now it's just I gotta go, 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 and then I guess then I have those times where I do nothing. But yeah, I don't know. It works. It works for me. It works for some people,
Yeah.
and yeah.
It's gotta be a hard transition though, going from like thinking about everything to everything's decided for you.
It is. It's fucking really different. It was hard. Like, putting my phone away and shit was hard enough. Just because whatever I'm doing, whether it's that day, if I'm even just like booking people, and then once booking people, then doing the whole cattle call of people, and I've booked a lot of shows in my day, live shows, fucking these shows, and stuff like that. And it's ever changing. There's not too often that there's going to be no issues or no changes or anything to it. So people who are making shows, it's not just you're popping on there and hitting record and go. Like, I mean, mine's pretty easy. Mine's pretty much a record and go, and then that's it. But that's only because there's so much other shit you got to do. You got to book. You got to find the guests. You got to reach out to the guests. You gotta make sure. You got to double check. You got to be like, oh, are they going to show up today? I don't fucking know. I better fucking get a hold of them, a few hours before, and then probably 10 minutes before too, and be like, hey, you're still coming, right? Like, have
We're
you
good,
checked to
right?
see how everything works? Yeah, like you're going to be here. I'm fucking getting up. I'm getting my fucking studio all turned on and set up. Like, I want to make sure you're fucking here. Yeah, I don't know. Cause I've had some that have just like not showed up, and um, it sucks. Like I'm fucking taking time out of my day, and in the end, like my goal, just like in pro wrestling, is I want to put over whomever's on my show. That's my goal. I want to make them look as fucking good as I can make them look. And I can't do that if you don't show up. Like I'm trying to do this for someone else. Like it's kind of about me, but in the end, it's about making the other person look better. And yeah, if you don't show up, I can't do that. Can't help you if you don't show up. So
Absolutely. And that's two things you hit on right there is when you get going in podcasting and you don't realize like how much work actually goes into it. It's a lot of work, and not just like the things that you got that everybody sees like on the camera, but like communicating with your guests, reaching out to your guests, getting past your own head. Dude, I
yeah,
reached out to Chris Van Vliet this past week, and I
Yeah.
am like, I'm sitting here chomping at the bit, like, is he going to answer? Is he going to answer? But it's that step, right? It's that step in
Yeah.
the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta reach out and like, um, I kind of had the same thing. So there was this guy that my buddy and I like. We've been doing this show for since like 2000. I started the show in 2013, and so back then we were like talking about this one guest, and like we really wanted to have him on. And we fucking it was like, just fucking do it. Just fucking reach out. And so I reached out, and I got a message back, and he said like, dude, thanks for hitting me up, but I don't do like any public stuff anymore like that. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, man. But at least I reached out and I got a fucking message back from him, which was fucking cool as shit. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it's weird because like with especially with like Instagram, you can just reach out to people that you don't reach out to normally. Like you can do it. I reached out to this other dude who's like who was an actor in some like 80s and 90s movies that I really liked, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come do my podcast?" Like, sure. So I was like, "Okay, okay." I'm glad I fucking hit him up, and it's just, and I've had other people like be like, "Nah," or not answer, or I've had some people say they're gonna do it and not show up, and it's kind of all over. But I mean, if you're reaching out, like, reach out to him, reach out to some other people. Like, this numbers game with this shit. And you never know who's going to say, yeah. I mean, it'll fucking blow your mind. You try not to mark out for shit.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. It's weird too what I mark out for and the people I mark out for. For the people that I've met, like the people that I mark out for, it's really weird, man. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, why the fuck you like? I don't know, man. And then like some people, like whoever they are, like I'm like, oh, okay, it's just fucking whoever, whatever, this fucking whatever. And then it's like, oh my god, it's fucking whatever. So like the only two people, it's just weird that if I've fucking really marked out for are Andy Milanakis and fucking Rowdy Piper. And it
What?
was like the weirdest shit. I'm like, why am I marking out for fucking Andy Milanakis, man? But it was like, it was a weird fucking thing. I met him he was doing a show in Portland. So it was doing like a rap show. And I was talking to him for a while, and it was just like, it was weird, man. I was trying not trying to fucking keep it together and like
Yeah.
start asking stupid questions and shit. And then, but and then, there's, a lot of other people I've met, like, say whatever, it's just another fucking person. But fucking Andy Milanakis, man. Like, okay.
Andy Milanakis.
Andy Milanakis. And like, and like, and Rowdy Piper, man. Like, I met him, like, I didn't know what to do. Like, it was a weird one. And like, I talked to him for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then he kept on wanting to talk to me. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Okay. All right. It was weird, man. But
Are you all out of bubblegum?
right. Yeah. I probably gone somewhere down that road, man. And, dude, it was fucking weird. But then like other people, it's just like, especially now that it's, Zoom, and even in real life, man, still don't really, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird not marking out for people, but some people I fucking mark out for, and it's just odd. It's a very, very surreal experience. Like realizing that it's like, fuck, dude, like, what am I doing here? Like,
how did I get put in this situation?
how did I get put in this situation? It's like, all right, well, I'm here though. But then, then I look back and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I don't know what was going on, and I mean, I couldn't tell you probably what was said and most of the shit. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I met two people that I really wanted to meet in one night at a show in Alaska when I lived there, and it was just like mind blowing. I was over the moon when I left the show. Like I met DDP and I met Jay Lethal.
Oh shit. Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
just we were just talking about Jay Lethal. They did a show up in Alaska. I saw, like, in the 13 years that I've been wrestling, up until last year, I think was the first time I've seen anybody booked in Alaska. Um, which is, I don't know, man. So it's crazy. I mean, like, it's not like you can go and hit up like fucking 5 things. It's like someone's coming and they're flying these people in just
yeah,
for this show. So,
yeah.
I mean, what was that show like that you went to there with that?
Well, so that was like the first of many shows that they've done. So they wrestled pro. Kevin Matthews, Cam. I'm good friends with him. Um, they've done a good job about bringing up and keeping the fans or us fans engaged in all the stuff. So like the first show they brought up Mick Foley, and they brought up like Mick Foley, MJF before he got signed to AEW, Joey Janela, just a whole bunch of dudes. Like Chris Masters was up there, Chris Adonis. And then they brought up Bret Hart the next time, dude, and they were just going strong with people. And this time, like the last time that they went up was just awesome. It was in a smaller venue, so you didn't have to like walk around and go all crazy and everything. But like, uh, Jay Lethal was there. I sat and talked to Jay Lethal for like 20 minutes. Dude was like one of the most humble human beings I've ever met in my life.
Cool.
And
That's always a good thing.
yeah, and we talked, about wrestling, and then he like showed a vested interest in what I do. And that to me that was like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm just Sean Young living in Alaska, fucking bumfuck nowhere, and Jay Lethal sitting here, somebody I've watched since I was a kid, wanting to talk to me. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I got to meet like DDP and the Acclaimed and Orange Cassidy and like Buff Bagwell, and that was cool. But like talking to DDP because of what I do and because of what he does, I got to thank him for kind of rejuvenating my childhood. He helped Jake the Snake get sober. He helped Scott Hall get sober. He's helping Buff Bagwell get sober. Like so, like seeing everybody that he's helping out and the DDP yoga that he created and that he's working around is pretty awesome. So for me, that was kind of like very inspirational and very awesome moment. It's
Yeah.
like top two moments of my whole life where I marked out. There's only one other one that tops that.
What was that?
Oh, I met CM Punk in 2011,
Shit, right at his fucking height right there, man.
the summer of Punk. Yep. I
Shit.
got
What, in
I got
Alaska?
no. So I was in the army. I was stationed at Fort Bragg, and they did tribute to the troops down there. And I kind of got wrangled into a detail. I had no idea what I was doing. They were just like, "Hey, come with us." So we were at the arena, go down in the basement, and they're like, "Your job is to meet and greet everybody that comes through here." So I met the whole roster,
Oh,
and Punk was my favorite at the time. To a degree, he kind of still is, but um, he was right behind me. He tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, man." I turned around and like he hung out with me for an hour. Like
oh
just we
shit.
bullshitted about life, bullshit about wrestling. I was telling him I've watched you ever since you started, and he was like, I don't want to talk about me. Let's talk about you. I was
Cool.
like, what? What? This is fucking crazy.
So what'd you talk about?
Oh, dude, we just talked about everything. He asked me about my time in the army. He asked me about my family. So my daughter's mom called me while I was right in the middle there, and I was like, "Hey, I'm kind of in the middle of something." And he's like, "Is that your daughter's mom?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me talk to her." So I gave him the phone. He talked to her for like 10 minutes. After the show, like you can see them like everybody that was on the ramp, all of the superstars coming down, and he came out to ringside where we were and sat and talked to us for another 20 minutes after the show was done.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Just Yeah, seems like a fucking cool dude there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard conflicting stories, but my personal experience was like pretty awesome.
And you know what? Life is what's your personal experience.
Yeah.
You know, life isn't what other people say.
Hmm.
Life's
Yeah.
what you fucking what life was what you're like what you're seeing, what you're fucking not imagining, but what you're fucking um like whatever it is you're fucking existing. Whatever how you're existing, however you're interpreting life, that's your life, man. And so like your meeting with him was fucking awesome and impactful, and so it was that's who he is.
Yeah.
That's who he is in your fucking universe.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm really happy that I moved back down to what we call the lower 48, because now I get to go to more shows. Right. I
Yeah.
get to go to MCW, and whenever AWWW comes to DC, I'm able to go there like 45 minutes from DC. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm in that weird panhandle where you take 3 mile drive and you're in Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool then, man.
Yeah.
That's easy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's enough about me. And like you said, my guest or my job on here is not to put myself over, it's to put you over.
Eh,
You get
eh,
over well enough, but
eh.
I'm here to put you over, my friend. So I did a soft introduction way at the beginning. Would you like to give a formal introduction of yourself?
Sure. My name is Rusty fucking Diamond. The fucking is for fucking. So, and yeah, if you ever fucking yeah, come up to me and I don't say fuck when I meet you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say fuck sometimes. So, uh, yeah, with me, kind of what you see is what you get. I don't sugarcoat shit. I'm not good at that. And yeah, man, I don't know. I fucking done some things here and there, a lot of fucking weird shit, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because I came from a place where it was like, yeah, you go out, you fucking go to college, you get the fucking you do the whole fucking life thing of that. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try this. And yeah, I was really shitty at it. So I was like, I'm just going to do this my own way, man. I'll fucking try this out. And it seemed to work pretty all right. As in, that doesn't let me down too much. And it's led me to some cool places. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, so that's me. That's Rusty fucking Diamond in a nutshell.
Rusty fucking Diamond. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I know some other people who have the same nick or not nickname, but middle name as I do. So we kind of party sometimes. I've had this one woman on a podcast, and she was like, "Hey, that's my middle name too," and so we got along pretty well after that. So uh, it's one of those things. If some people have the same name as you kind of end up like, okay, you have some sort of connection with that. So,
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
so that's me.
That is awesome, man. You got a laundry list of things. Like you said it before. You are a busy, busy man. You just all the time moving, going, going, going. What are
Yeah.
some of the titles that you have or that the world has put on you?
So I mean, like what it says in my fucking thing is that I'm like I mean this is a very simplified version. I'm the exclusive pro wrestling stand up comedian hypnotist. Um, but that's a simplified version. I'm also an adventure astronaut. Whatever that is, someone told me that at the Westland Saloon one time, and I was like, okay, that's what I am. I am okay with that. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm an adventure astronaut. So, um, did that. Fucking, I was a musician. I still kind of am a musician, but I mean, most everything we do now, AI can do better than I can do. So I've kind of been able to like I don't know. I'm getting to a point where I'm accepting and trying to implement what I can do with it rather than just kind of being defeated by it. I'm trying to be AI's friend. more than anything because it's already better. I've taken my jokes that I wrote in 2012 and I took the book and I'm like, okay, create some new punchlines. Give me 10 new punchlines for these fucking jokes. And they're a lot fucking funnier than what I ever thought up. So I was like, okay, well, that kind of does it. And then, I can, with my podcast, like I could give, I don't know, 2 minutes of fucking vocal prompts and just let it create AI fucking Rusty forever. Any acting shit I've done, just get a little sample of me, what I do, maybe just a picture and a little bit of audio. You got fucking Rusty Diamond forever. Like I think Bruce Willis, who's who it was sold his likeness and rights to just be. I forgot to. It was just some major studio to be whatever. Let them basically have Bruce Willis, uh, like AI Bruce Willis forever. So he can do whatever. You can get Bruce Willis, Die Hard 27. And then you get next month, you get Bruce Willis, Fuck Seven Horses, and part two. So,
Part two. The
you
second
know,
half of 27.
yeah, the second half of 27. It's the first one's a classic. So, I mean, it's really weird what you're going to end up doing with this shit. And I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. And and I mean, even with, I don't know, I had some ideas with pro wrestling too, how they're going to implement it. But I thought they were going to do it. I thought that they were going to implement a lot more AI once COVID hit. But they didn't, surprisingly. But I don't know, man. Yeah, so I've done like that kind of shit. Yeah, fucking done some acting stuff, like I don't know, done some theater and fucking done weird random shit in like as an extra in fucking movies and TV shows, and then been like stand in those movies and shows and shit. And yeah, I did stand up comedy for I don't know a while. I think I started that in 2012. Still do a little bit. I didn't do it much in Salt Lake City because it was weird, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it in Salt Lake City. So I spent a little bit, and so I'm starting to get back into it. I'm gonna start booking some shows out here. I think soon, up here in the Northeast, and then so pro wrestling. I got into pro wrestling in 2010, and yeah, I mean I've done it in I don't know a lot of fucking weird places. Like I almost went to Alaska. The closest I got to Alaska is this place up in British Columbia. Up, it's really close to Alaska. It's like a little. They call them First Nation. A First Nation. What's it called? Reservation.
Mhm.
Up there in this place called Bella Coola, and like we were doing like a 2-day thing, and the first night someone in the village died, so like the whole town shut down. It wasn't our fault as far as I know, but
That's good.
yeah, so someone died that night, so we ended up doing 2 shows the next day. But I mean, so I've done shows up there, all kind of through BC, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Utah, and then like out in Minnesota and fucking that area, and then yeah, now out in Connecticut and out over here, and it's fucking wild, man. Yeah, it's just something I've enjoyed. And then so let's see, and then 2017, I was on the road fucking all the time then. Like I would drive, like a normal weekend for me would be leave at 9 o'clock at night on Thursday night, drive 6 hours up to Vancouver, BC, sleep for a few hours, then drive 4 hours east to Kelowna, BC, do a show there. As soon as the show was over, drive then back to Vancouver, sleep for a little bit, do a show in Vancouver on Saturday night, and then as soon as that show was over, we leave. We drive down to Portland, Oregon. We pick someone up in Portland, drive down then, and so that's 6 hours there, and then drive 9 hours from there down to work in like Chico, California, and then as soon as we get there, like right as the show's starting, and then as soon as our match was over, we'd fucking hop back in the car and drive back up 9 hours, and then be at work at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and then just doing that. And so that was kind of my life then. And so my job then during that time, I was working as I was like driving a truck and delivering hardwood flooring in people's houses. And I was walking across someone's unfinished driveway, carrying like 80, maybe 100 pounds of hardwood flooring. And there was a piece of plywood covering up a hole, and the piece of plywood slipped, and my left leg went in there, and I fucking twisted my knee, and that was the end of my in-ring career. And so, yeah, fucking didn't get hurt in wrestling. But yeah, but I still had some bookings after that to wrestle. I had one match. It was in Hermiston, Oregon, for this company called Prestige, and it was basically what they had me do. They had me be like, because I'm like I'm still here, like, but hey, I can't fucking wrestle, so they had me do like, it was kind of like a Weekend at Bernie's thing, and I was kind of like Bernie Lomax of the show. So yeah, it was like someone drugged me, and so I'm just like sitting there like on the side, just like this. And if you ever find that match, it's Purple Wizards versus C4 in Prestige Wrestling. So that's what's going on in that match. I think that was my last match that I did. And but I mean, I've done kind of everything in wrestling. Like, I've been a ref, I've been a wrestler, I've been a manager, I've done ring announcing, I've done play-by-play, done color. I don't
You're
know
a booker now.
Yeah, fuck that, man. I know better than be a booker at a pro wrestling show, man. Fuck that, dude. It's hard enough with comedy, dude. Pro wrestlers would be fucking 10 times worse. Actually, I don't know, man. I don't know about 10 times worse. Both of them are kind of a bitch. Pro wrestling show or comedy shows are a motherfucker, dude. I get so many people that just, I don't know. You got a lot of people that are, I mean, myself included. Like, I mean, I'm part of that, no problem. But I'm usually better at letting people know ahead of time. But you never know if you're going to have a fucking bad day, man. Like, there's a lot of people that are very creative, but very creative people tend to have a lot of fucking, stuff going on in their head, whatever it may be. And, so I mean, I was kind of like, okay, I understand. So I always had a crew of people. I had like 3 comedians I could always call to be like, hey, come do my show. Like, so and so didn't show up. But like, I mean, I was ready for that shit. And I mean, I've had some shows where I've had that where that's been my thing too. Like, I fucking, dude, I'm gonna be so shitty today if I do a show. Like, I don't want to fuck it up. If you want me to come show up, I'll show up, but you might want to get someone else. And I want to be kind of honest about that, because with my show, or when I do comedy, for my first year, not even my first year, probably first 6 months, I wrote jokes. And I mean, I know people who were comedians back then who probably are still working on, having their same jokes they had fucking 12 years ago and still doing them. But it drove me fucking crazy to tell the same jokes over and over. Like, I couldn't do it. It was really fucking hard for me. And I just like, oh, here's that joke again. And like I said, I'm not good at, fucking sugarcoating shit. So like, my jokes would be like, oh, okay, well, here's the punchline. So I eventually just made it to where it's just, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like I'll if I don't go up first, I mean I'm watching the audience. Same with wrestling. I'm watching the audience and seeing kind of how people are reacting to stuff. Like at a wrestling show, you see the fucking curtain moving, you see some fucking eyes looking through it. It's probably me. And like I want to know what's going on. So like I never know what I'm gonna do. I never know what I'm doing a wrestling match. I don't like fucking. I'm not one of the guys who calls spots ever before a match. Some people plan out every fucking little thing like it's the WrestleMania 3 Macho Man Ricky Steamboat match. And dude, I can't remember that shit. It's nice if I have do tag matches and I have someone who can remember all the spots if I have to do that. But man, I don't know. I'm good at calling shit on the fly, and I mean that's how I like doing my stand up too. And I like doing crowd work, or I'll tell some story, or I never know what the fuck I'm gonna do until I walk out there, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is what we're gonna do. What we're gonna talk about, whatever it is, and let's just go. Let's fucking. I feel the crowd.
Let's
I don't
do
know.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking call it in the ring, brother. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and
So we talked a little bit about last night's pay per view prior to getting on the show.
sure.
You have to there has to be a love for professional wrestling to be a fan of it. So what was that moment that you were like, I'm sold to pro wrestling?
Yeah, I was like 3 years old. My dad worked in he worked like in the food company. He worked for this company called General Foods in White Plains, New York, and this was mid '80s. And so he'd go and like always be on flights with wrestlers and shit. And so like and he worked with the company he worked for produced those. I don't know if you remember these. They were like CM Punk brought them back. There was these shitty ice cream bars,
Yep.
and my dad's company made those.
Oh
And
wow.
it wasn't my dad. No, it wasn't my dad's company. The company my dad worked for made those. So like we'd always get free promotional shit, free promotional videos, and my dad would bring home autographs and shit. So I mean, I was just, I'm like 3 or 4 years old. I'm like, dude, this is fucking killer. What is, like I got, so that'd have been like, I don't know, 85, 86, somewhere in there. And yeah, man, it was fucking cool. I mean, I'm only 28, but like 85, 86, man, I was like, dude, this is fucking sweet. And then, man, I was in love with it ever since then. I mean, I was a kid, and like I always get made fun of for being the kid who loves wrestling. And then the Attitude Era came along, and everyone was like, "Oh man, wrestling's so cool." I'm like, "Dude, I've been watching this shit forever, man. I fucking know." And then, and like even dude, like so, my folks when uh my sister and my brothers, like whenever we were going to graduate high school, my parents would take us on a trip, and we can go kind of anywhere we wanted to go. And I went to Houston, Texas, and went to WrestleMania 17. And man, it was like right before I graduated high school, man. It was fucking, that show was unreal, man. The fucking access thing the day before was like, it was even cooler. I mean, like, the show was fucking awesome, but all like seeing all this shit is so weird that there's no museum. Like I went to there's a museum in Texas now, but I mean there's no WWE museum. Like I go and when I go into New York now, I drive right past the fucking building. It's right off the fucking highway, and it's weird, man. And then yeah, driving through fucking past the main streets of Greenwich, Connecticut, and shit, and yeah, man. And then I just, man. So then in high school, like at that time, I go to the guidance counselor, and I'm like, you're like, what do you want to do when you're fucking out of high school? I'm like, I want to be a pro wrestler. And it's like, you're too small for it, man. It's too like, so, but this guy, his name was Dick. I
Go
don't want to
figure.
give away his last name, but if you know where I'm from or whatever, you can probably look that up and find out who it was. But this guy was an asshole. He was an asshole like when I was, he was an asshole before with other shit. But I got to prove him wrong, so I was pretty happy with that. And then, yeah, so when I was 25, 26, maybe something like that, I met a buddy at a bar. Um, and he was the bartender and watching wrestling on the TV. And I was like, hey, like, you know, you can change it, man, if you want. Like, because like I'm the only person watching. He's like, no, dude, every Monday night, man, we watch this, man. Like, well, I'm not changing the fucking channel. And we became fucking. We just started talking. We had the same like same kind of love for wrestling as each other, and like we both don't like the same people and shit, which was weird. Like, I think him and I are the only two people that I know of that don't like watching steamboat matches. Like, which is so weird because, like, I don't know, man. I've never enjoyed it. I don't know why. I don't know why. And I don't know if it's like the inner hipster in me, even as a kid or something. Like, oh man, I can't like this guy, but he's a fucking great trainer and shit. I just never liked his matches. But so him and I started going to these shows in Portland, or actually it was in Oregon City, Oregon, and we it was called DOA Pro Wrestling, and I was like, dude, these shows are fucking cool. Like the place probably held like maybe 60 people or something. It was just a little tiny thing, and at that time the company was very much you could do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, say whatever you wanted to do. There was a group called the Urban Legends, like HERBAN, and they fucking smoked weed and shit. And I was like, dude, this is fucking cool. I like this. Uh, um, and yeah, man. And eventually, him and his brother they started training together. Like, started training with these guys, and they're like, dude, you gotta do it. I'm like, I don't know. And like, you gotta do it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I ended up started training with them, and I never fucking stopped. I can't get away. I haven't found a way to get away yet. I've tried, and it just hasn't happened. I love it. There are parts I don't love, but there's enough where it keeps bringing me back, and it's fun. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I would go to these shows before when I was a fan, and I would sit in the front row. I'd be talking so much fucking shit because I was like, that's who I am.
Yeah.
That's me. And so when these rats, like the whole, I don't know, it was not the whole. There was probably like 10, 15 people at this training who were wrestling there. And man, when they found out that I was gonna be there, and like, dude, they wanted to make sure that I was fucking cool. Um, and they were happy. They were happy to fucking make sure I was cool. Like to be able to be like, dude, we're gonna fucking stretch this fucking kid to see, what the fuck he's made of. And I mean, I kept coming back. Whatever. And it worked. It worked. And I loved it. I loved it. And just kept going and going and going. And then, I mean, yeah, I mean, even fucking stepping in a hole, like I fucking came back, man. I fucking, um, so like when the concussion shit was getting real big, so this was like 2012 maybe or so. There was a couple guys I worked with that ended up having one got. I think they both ended up something happened. I think one took a curb stomp bad, and one took a kick to the head bad, and both had to retire right there at that spot. And I have had head injuries before wrestling, and so I'm like, I should step back and kind of like reassess everything, and but I still wanted to like be a part of everything. So that's how I got into comedy. I'm like, I'm gonna learn comedy so I can learn how to talk better, so I don't have to do as much physical shit in matches. And so that's why I became a fucking comedian. And then so then I came back. I was doing that for a while, and then I decided to move to Idaho. And I was just like, we had a barbecue the day before, like a company barbecue. And I was just like, hey, I'm taking off tomorrow. I'm moving to Idaho. I don't know when the fuck I'm going to come back. I'll see you later. I don't want to, like, and yeah. And then so I left and went away for a bit. And then I saw that some new kids started training. And I was like, kind of seeing that, and people were telling me like, hey, these kids are doing pretty all right. So I went in there and went to go kind of see what they're doing, see if I can help out somehow. And then it's like, I started like taking roles and taking some bumps again. And then all of a sudden it's like,
You're back in it.
yeah, do you want to be a manager for, we're going to bring back the urban legends, but we're going to call them the High Five. And so we're going to have you be the manager. And so I became the manager of the High Five. And so there were 5 of us. I was the 5th person, and we all were high. And so we were the High Five. And then at one point we did this thing where we were the High Five, and then we became super religious, and I became the guy upstairs. We were doing shows at this place in Portland called the Harvey's Comedy Club, and there was like kind of an upstairs thing. So I was like the guy. I was the guy upstairs, but not like whatever. So that I was kind of a God type figure, and we were called the Higher Five during that time. And then some team slipped us some pot brownies one time, switched out of pot brownies for our during our what's it called, like a bake off kind of a thing or whatever, bake sale, like we were trying to raise money for our Higher Five ministries. And switch it. So then we became the High Five again. And pro wrestling, man.
Can't make this shit up.
Yeah, right. And so that was kind of the thing, man. And and so I don't know. I fucking got into it then. Yeah, like once I busted my knee though, then, and I couldn't fucking do anything. Like I had to fucking finish out my bookings, and then tell all the bookers like, hey, I can't fucking do anything. Like I ended up needing to have 3 surgeries on my knee. And I mean, it just fucking, that was it. And I got fucking super fucking depressed. Just everything fucking sucked. And I started going to a therapist, and like I don't know what fucking job I can do. Like all my jobs I've been doing have been physical, and like I can't do this anymore. I can barely fucking walk. I can't carry shit. All I used to carry was matches. No, just kidding. Just kidding on that one.
I used to carry the show on my back.
Yeah. And so she's like, well, hey, here's a book. And there were 2 jobs in the book for that were something that I could do. One was a Reiki, and the other was a hypnotist. And I was like, okay.
I don't believe in any of this.
Yep, I don't, because I've been a pro wrestler, and I've been a pro wrestling fan since I'm a kid. Like, this is just fucking bullshit. It's like a fucking magic show, or like a wrestling show. There's fucking people are in on this shit. And then but I was like, well, I guess it's here. Like, I'll give it a shot. So I Googled hypnotist training in Portland, Oregon, and called up the first place I found, Northwest Hypnosis Institute. I call it up, and this guy picks up. I talk to him for about 20 minutes on the phone, and it's like, yeah, I'm pro wrestler, and I, don't really believe this stuff. It's like, well, he convinced me to fucking come in there the next day and talk to him in person. So I mean, I'm sure I got hypnotized then.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's exactly what happened.
yeah, he's fucking good. He's really fucking good. And then I go in there the next day and I talk to him, and I talk to him for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm a pro wrestler, man. This is like, this shit's like bullshit. This is complete bullshit. Like, you're in on the fucking game. I get it. Like, how's this work? And he's
Yeah.
like, so then he fucking hypnotized me. And I was just like, oh, this is not a fucking work. This is totally real. This fucking feels awesome. And I was kept saying, hypnosis is great. And so I signed up. I signed up for the class, and I started going. I was the fucking drizzling shits in school. I don't know how I fucking got a high school diploma. I don't know how I got a fucking college degree. Fucking bottom of my class, all that shit. But then hypnosis, man, I fucking got in there, fucking top of my class, man. And I loved it. I kept saying hypnosis is great, man. I just kept saying that over and over to everyone that I fucking met. And then that became the name of my business. And shit, dude, it's a fucking trip. And I love it. I love every bit of it. And so this guy that trained me, he was like, at the time, I think 76, 75, 76 or something. Now he's been like, I just did a podcast with him recently, and now he's 80. And dude, yeah, like, so, but this guy, I've been doing it for 60 years. And so he, but he also was the guy who brought martial arts to the Northwest. And when he was training at the time, him and this other guy, one started a school in Oakland, he started a school in Seattle. And yeah, they used to work together. And then, yeah, one started one school and the other guy started the other school. And that other guy was Bruce Lee. And
Wow. Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah, dude's got a fucking crazy story. If you ever look it up, his name is Bruce Terrell, Terrill. And if you look on the public access podcast, I do an interview with him. But dude's so there's a thing called pattern interrupt in hypnosis and stuff of that, where you're hearing something, it's like whatever we're saying, and then someone says something like really fucked up, like out of the blue. It's just gonna like, wait, what? And that it's a big, like, it's weird. So like when we signed up for the class, we had to write like and sign like we're not gonna sue him for something, like for like crazy shit that he says or anything like that, which at the time now like is even more crazy. But because I mean, look at some of the stuff he would say, like it's the pattern interrupt and fucking change our thinking patterns for the better. But like the way he does it is so unorthodox, but it worked so fucking well. And it's crazy. And so like I just fucking got into it. It's every day I fucking leave. There's a scene in The Simpsons where Homer, when he fucking gets medicinal marijuana and he's driving in his car. And I felt like that's how I felt every day driving home after being hypnotized. And at the time I was not I was not smoking weed or anything. This was my high, was hypnosis. And I just fucking just feel like you're driving on a fucking cloud leaving. And a lot of teachers, they would teach to, like, you have to like read stuff out of books and learn all that stuff. But his class was all just like working with someone else in the class and like training on each other. And it fucking worked great, man. I fucking, yeah. Uh, every day I'm fucking happy I did that. And it was killer, man. I still love doing it. And yeah.
So, what was that first experience like for you when you got hypnotized? I know you said that you were like, "Holy shit, this is great," but what was that experience like for you? Was it kind of like you were like there was blinders on or something, or was it like just this internal peace?
Kind of an internal peace. Um, you can get hypnotized with your eyes closed, your eyes shut, whatever you want to do. It's going to be the same. Like I can hypnotize people in person. I can hypnotize them over the phone. I can hypnotize them online, or I can even fucking write them a letter and they can read it. Like you read something 6 times in a row, it's going to be in your subconscious. So you can do that too. And the first time I was just, yeah, I had like an inner peace and just extreme relaxation and fucking just everything kind of fucking melted away. And um, I don't know. I didn't know that fucking that feeling existed. And it was like mind blowing because I just thought the whole thing was bullshit. And I just thought it was like especially like the stuff, the stage shows and stuff. I thought that was complete bullshit, but that's
Yeah.
not complete bullshit at all. Those people are fucking really fucking hypnotized. And it's just, and like even the people who get called up there and then, but they don't use them, like everybody in the crowd is getting hypnotized. But like, I've had people who say like, oh yeah, I got called up there, but he didn't end up using me. I'm like, dude, you still got fucking hypnotized. It's just these other people are fucking, you can tell that they're going to be better in the show to use them. But fucking everyone is fucking hypnotized there. And um, I've done a comedy show where I was second to last person on, and I asked people like the audience, I'm like, do you guys want me to? I can tell you a story, or do you want me to hypnotize you for relaxation? And they were like, well, I want you to hypnotize us. So I ended up hypnotizing my audience to relax them a bunch, and then so they're all fucking, feeling like they're floating on clouds. But then there was someone after me and they didn't give a flying fuck about that person. And I'm like, well, okay, I can't do that anymore, man, unless I'm the fucking the
The
main.
closer.
So yeah, unless I'm the closer there. So um yeah, so I stopped doing that when I felt pretty bad. They got pretty fucking heated at me for that. They're like, I didn't fucking think about that. I didn't know that they were gonna be like not caring about what you're doing. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of that. But I don't know. It's pretty cool, and it's led me to some cool shit too with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess like I know I didn't believe in hypnosis like when I first started things or like first got into really looking into it, but I kind of did some untrained hypnosis to help people, tap into their subconscious, which I guess that's what it is. It's
That's all
helping
it
you.
is. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I used to have people focus on my voice and then they would go into their subconscious. I'd paint a picture for them and they would interact in their subconscious the way that it was happening. And I never looked at it like that, but someone was like, dude, you're hypnotizing people. I was like, well,
you're
that's
absolutely.
yeah. But the thing that I was in those situations, I mean, I don't know if you believe in the spiritual aspect of it, but you leave yourself unguarded.
Yeah, so is that like you can call it guided meditation, you can call it fucking yoga, you can call it fucking deep breathing, you can call it fucking whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing.
I
So,
never knew that.
yeah, whatever you're doing, you're hypnotizing people. You can be driving down the fucking road. How many times have you been driving down the road, and all of a sudden wake up, or not wake up, but like realize like 10 minutes later, I just drove and I don't know where the fuck I've been the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the state of hypnosis right there.
Wow.
And, um, So I mean, yeah, like what you were doing, like with them, you're totally hypnotizing them. You're, or taking them on, yeah, guided meditation or whatever the fuck it is. And it's nice to be able to like let them, then they can figure out what they need in their body. Like, so the only thing I don't charge for, um, in hypnosis is for PTSD. I won't charge people if they want to come to me. Not a lot of people have take me up on that one. Um, some have, but uh, it's the best way to do it. And there's a lot of people who've had a lot of fucking shit that have happened to them, and like, so this way, I'm taking them into a place, and then like they don't have to fucking say a word to me at all. They can. I just like, okay, you go in that place, and but then so what you have to do, not, whoever I'm working with, you do have to revisit that event, but you do it, and then you keep doing it over and over, with each time it becoming less and less impactful on your life and on your subconscious. That's just something that something's fucking with you, and you don't know what it is. Even like, I've had some people come to me for PTSD, and they say it's this one event, but then once they are under and they're in there, they realize it's something fucking totally different, something that happened before that was way more impactful, and then they start unfolding that. And again, they don't have to tell me a word. I'm just like, you tell me when you're feeling better about it, and we'll go on, and we'll make you feel even better about it. And by the end, you're fucking pretty much laughing at it. And I mean, where the fuck else can you do that in an hour and a half? Unpack that much shit with 93% success rate. Whereas if you do, I think it's 600 sessions of someone with therapist, and it's like 35% success rate. Like, you can just undo so much shit so fast. And so, yeah, if anyone's listening out here and you have PTSD, man, get over it once. Like, don't keep reliving it. I mean, you're gonna have to relive it regardless, and it's gonna come up probably in a worse place than being like. Wouldn't you rather be in a fucking nice, tranquil place when you fucking have to deal with it, rather than it being all of a sudden you're in a place and you're in some fucking already fucked up situation, and you got to relive it again because something similar is happening. And I mean, so like, I've talked about this the other time. This is, not the best thing to say, which I always love giving that disclaimer before I say shit. So the term triggered, which you can't say triggered anymore. You have to say there's something else, because the term triggered is a triggering term. But
Wow.
yeah. So, but like, so if you have a story, like the story arc of how, you have the goes up and up and up, and, you get to the climax and shit, and, the resolution afterwards. So if there's a part with someone who's triggered, so in a story, the main character they start going up this little fucking journey, and then the conflict of the story happens. This person's triggered, and I mean, now it's, oh, okay, I'm triggered. Well, end of the story. Da 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 da. That's the end. And then, where's the redemption for the main character there? So, I mean, you gotta go. You gotta fucking, in any story, you gotta fucking take that conflict head on. You gotta be able to get through that conflict, and then you're fucking so much better on the other side. And it's hard, and like, saying that is like pisses off a lot of people. But I mean, dude, like, you're gonna end up fucking reliving it again. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna just go away. And just anytime you get triggered, you're fucking triggered. Like, that's fucking you up already right there. Just do it once. Come fucking talk with me. Talk with it. If you don't like me, fucking find another hypnotist. There's thousands of us out there. Talk to someone else. If you don't like me, I don't fucking care. Like,
Yeah.
go talk to another hypnotist. There are plenty that are fucking super nice and friendly, and may sugarcoat shit more than I do. Yeah, great. It's just like a fucking therapist. If you don't like one, if you're like, oh man, I tried therapy, it didn't work, dude, there's a lot of fucking people. There's a lot of fucking shitty ones. Uh, Go find one that, like, just keep trying. Keep trying. You're gonna find someone. Like, I gave up on therapy when I was younger. I was like, yeah, dude, this is fucking stupid. Like, these people have all been shitbags. Fuck this, dude.
Yeah.
But then I found the therapist I had that fucking gave me the book about the hypnosis. And dude, she took me on. She fucking, I didn't find out this until afterwards, but she never charged me once.
Wow.
The whole fucking time I was in there. And I did not know she did that. And when I started being a hypnotist, she fucking let me use one of her rooms at her office, like gave me an office to use whenever I wanted for free.
Wow.
And so, like, I try to fucking, like, help and put over whoever I can. Like, I want to fucking pass that on. Like, what she did for me, she didn't have to do any of that shit, man. She's fucking, I'm always going to be thankful for her, for doing that. And it's like, I don't know, man. She was a cool chick. Her name's Sarita, and like, shout out to her. But dude, like, man, so yeah, I mean, there's plenty of fucking, find someone you like, find someone you connect with. If, like, you may like them, but you don't connect with them, find someone else. Find someone you like and can connect with.
Yeah.
And then you can fucking get to the root of what you're fucking dealing with, rather than just sort of doing surface shit.
You know, the one thing that bothers me about like the American society ideology in mental health is that you can never be better, right? You can only get this far in your mental health,
Yep.
right? Or you can only achieve this much success in your own personal health, when in reality, dude, I used to live in that realm of I'm always going to be triggered because that's how it is, right? And then
Right.
somebody handed me like this exercise, and they were like, write down a synopsis of like your traumatic experience, just a short paragraph. And I did. And they were like, okay, read it. How much impact does it have? I said, but nothing. They're like, okay, cool. Well, then now go into detail. Write it all out. And I was like, fuck. And I did it, and I cried. And then the next session, did it again, cried, did it again, cried. And then they're like, okay, well, now you're going to write it out, but you're going to insert feelings and emotions in there. And so by the time I was done that whole process, it was like an 8-week process. By the time I got done with it, it was like, the same thing that would have triggered me doesn't fucking bother me anymore.
Yep.
And so what we don't realize is that there is relief, there is reprieve from what we're going through. We just got to be willing to put the work in and feel the fucking pain.
Sure. And I mean, you're going to feel the pain anyway. Like, I don't know, Dinosaur Jr., man, feel the pain, man. You know,
Here comes the pain.
Right, yeah. Fucking yeah. SmackDown versus Raw 2004, I think is what it was.
Yep.
No, it wasn't SmackDown versus Raw. SmackDown 2004, because it wasn't versus Raw. Yeah, SmackDown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so, I don't know. Yeah, you got to feel it again. Like, it's gonna happen. Just, it's a lot better to fucking do it in a controlled place, as opposed to it happening out in the fucking wild, and you lose it. You just fucking go nuts.
Start taking people out.
Maybe you will. I don't fucking know. You might fucking start taking people out. And it could happen. And so, like, You can do it that way, or you can fucking get it taken care of in what, 8 weeks with you, or fucking an hour and a half with me, or like either one of those. That's a hell of a lot better than 8 weeks is a hell of a lot better than the rest of your life and being fucking scared of it anytime it fucking shows up anywhere. And you're always running on adrenaline because you don't know when it's going to show up. I was talking about this in one of my, I think my last podcast I did with cops and people who have had fucking really shitty experience with cops. Like both the cops and a lot of the people that fucking have had really shitty, I've had fucking terrible experience with cops. Like both people are on fucking edge already. You're both fucking running on adrenaline before you even like get to the situation, before you even like get up like face to face with the person. Like you're both already like, oh shit,
Amped up.
what's gonna happen? Like, and you make fucking dumb decisions doing that shit. Like, it's all about being fucking chill, dude. Just fucking
Relax.
chill.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah. Maybe that's something I need to go back and do some of my my own hypnosis on some of that shit that I had with the cops, man. I hadn't thought about that until just now, but that might be a good idea.
It's
I've
always a revelation.
yeah, and so it's, I don't know, man. It's fucking, it's tough. Yeah, because like, so I had a fair amount of incidents with cops. I had, when I was living in my town growing up, like I always got, the cops thought that I was somebody else all the time, and so I get pulled over all the fucking time. Then they realize it was me, and then let me go. And then when I was 19, I fucking got pulled over, and the cops thought that my buddy and I were terrorists. And this was like right after 9/11. This was like January 2002, and I was with my buddy who was from Cairo. And they fucking, we almost like basically went away for life. Wow. And so that was a whole different thing. But so yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I had some shit with some areas that I could probably use some work, do some work on myself. And always be working on yourself. You can always make yourself better. You can always like figure shit out. Like get to the root of things. There's always a root of something, and like to that root, there's always a root to that. And fucking keep going back. Figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, you can treat all kinds of surface shit all day, but you're going to have to fucking go back and keep going back. Figure out why this happened, and then why that happened, and then why that happened, and see where you end up. And see, oh, yeah, go ahead.
The hardest thing is pulling back the onion,
Right.
I call it peeling back the onion, is getting to the root, because there's always something different, right? So like for me, when I would have any negative emotion, I go straight to anger. Why am I angry? Okay, well, I'm actually not fucking angry. I am really this, but what is the emotion attached to it, and why does it bother me so much?
Right.
Peeling back that onion is the real work, and then once you start to do that, you're able to like approach things a little bit differently. Or hypnosis, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same thing. Like, you gotta. It's real easy just to plaster all over and just be like, yeah, I just fucking get angry. That's just what I do. And like, I think about why. Like, yeah. I have the same shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I know why. I figured out why. I figured out why I was getting angry. And like, I figured out also when, so like when I went and saw my fucking therapist, like when I was saying that I was depressed and shit, and like, why I was like, and then like, I got suggested like, oh, maybe you should take some fucking, stuff for like, I was getting told I had social anxiety and shit. And then I was like, found out later, I was like, I didn't. It was just, I didn't like the people I had to go fucking deal with and hang out with. Like, I'm fine with other people. I'm fine with my friends, but these people I don't fucking like that was the reason. Like, I don't have social anxiety. It was just, I don't like these people, and I'm terrible at fucking trying to pretend I like someone. Like if I don't like you, you know I don't like you. I am fucking upfront with it. I will tell you I don't like you, and I will act like I don't like you, and I'll fucking leave you the fuck alone. Like I'll stay the fuck away from you because I don't want to deal with your shit.
Yep.
Like I don't like you, and it's like that's it. So yeah.
Sweet, sweet. All right, Rusty. Before we go, where can we find you, man?
Man, fucking come up on an alley and dark alley. I'm probably back there doing some ill
Doing
shit.
doing some John Moxley stuff.
Yeah, doing some John Moxley stuff. You can go to rustydiamond.net. Yeah, you can do that, man. I don't know. There if you on the Facebook, find Rusty Diamond Portland. Rusty Diamond Portland, I think, is my fucking thing. Or you look up Rusty Diamond CH, that's me. Or you go on to Instagram and Rusty Diamond 0, number 0, or Twitter, I think it's the same. And I do TikTok, did some
Me too.
TikToks. Yeah, Rusty Diamond Hypnosis.
Sick.
Yeah, or I got a fucking shitload of podcasts. I got a podcast network, the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGBN. I have that going, man. And so you can, there's my show, the Public Access Podcast. And then I have a show about pro wrestling with my buddy G. Yeah, that's me, called the Thinking Man's Pro Wrestling Podcast. That's once a week. And I have a show that's 2 times a week with my buddy Casey James called When the Gloves Come Off. And with him also, we run a nonprofit organization called Sock 'em Up, which is since the most requested item at shelters is socks, but it's the least donated item. So we are able to get socks for people who can use them. And so, yeah, you can find me in places. If you can't find me, if you want to just be like, hey, I don't know, I want to call Rusty, I'll give you my fucking phone number. Here's my phone number. You can fucking call me, 503-974-6420. You can call that shit, man, or email me, rustydiamondhypnosis@gmail.com. I don't give a shit, man. I'll fucking pick up the phone. You can talk to me, dude. I'll answer shit. I'll tell you stuff straight up. You want to fucking know what I'm thinking? I'll fucking tell you. I'm not going to sugarcoat a goddamn thing. So you guys, yeah. And if you don't like me, there's a lot of other people who do shit like me that are really fucking nice. If you do like me, I'll fuck with you. So
Sweet. All right. And I want to take a moment and say thank you, Rusty. This is awesome. This is the first of like 3 appearances that you're doing on.
I'll come back. Thank you for having me, man. I'm fucking happy to do this. Happy to meet you here.
I'm happy to meet you too. Thanks for hanging out.
Sure.
And everybody, thank you guys for hanging out with us for this hour and 15 minutes. We are off until next time. Much love, y'all.